Welcome back to another episode of our Toyota LandCruiser 80 series build. Previously, the 80 was unfortunately involved in an accident and needed a front end rebuild, which snowballed into us deciding to do a Turbo Barra conversion while we had the whole thing apart. So far, we removed the FZ from the 80, got the Barra, ZF6 Auto, wiring loom and a bunch of stuff out of the Ford we will need. Installed billet oil pump gears, heavy duty valve springs and got the ZF Auto adapted to the Cruiser transfer. In today's episode, we start working on the chassis, getting the engine mounts welded in, steering box braced, paint it all up, do the final touches on the Barra block and get it and the ZF6 all fitted up to the 80. Proudly supported by Ultimate 9, Tread, Opus Campers, Superior Engineering and Impartwire. Update, we're still waiting on the parts to arrive to put this back together, so it's just sitting there at the moment covered up and protected, but Todd is here today to start welding in the engine mounts and the steering box brace, doing a heap of chassis work at the front of the 80. The steering box does need to be removed to fit the brace kit, so Todd got to work doing that. So the chassis is thankfully all good there, no repairs required, it's damage free, but we will ensure it will stay that way. So this is the steering box brace kit we got. I got it from LCS 4x4.
So you got this inner plate, you'll sit in there like that, spreading the load out up to your engine mounts.
Yeah, so it just beefs up that whole area. You got plates either side and...
Got that one, I'm pretty sure that one's in there.
Now the reason for putting the steering box brace kit on the 80 is it is a known weak point on them. They love to crack the chassis where the box mounts and the panhard bracket there too. So it is a common upgrade people do. At the same time as bracing, many people do upgrade from the 80 series steering box to a GU steering box, which is stronger and less common to leak oil. But given we just rebuilt our steering box and we aren't going to be doing super tough wheeling in this 80, we didn't see it as a necessity. With the chassis all cleaned up and ready for welding, Todd sprayed some copper weld through primer on, which prevents rust from occurring in behind the parts you've welded on. All the surfaces have been cleaned up, the weld through primer paint is on, everything's clamped in place. Now you can begin welding it up. Just drop that panhard out as well, just so that bush doesn't get melted or damaged while welding all up through there. That's it, all welded on. So you got this brace there, a plate there, a plate on the other side, and another plate down under there. And then Todd's just going along tidying all up, making it look pretty, and then we'll be able to prime and paint it. But we won't do all that till we do these engine mounts, because we've got to do them next, the engine mounts for the Barra. So the kit hasn't turned up yet, it's on board for delivery today. This engine mount and gearbox kit and all that, so I'm hoping it'll be here soon. But while we're waiting, Todd will start cutting these engine mounts off. So what's your plan for getting rid of these engine mounts? Like, how do you do it? You just cut them off?
The best way, plasma cutter or oxy, cut them all off and then just grind them and linish it back. But we haven't got an oxy or a plasma, so I'll just do it the old fashioned way, get the grinder out and smash into it that way.
Okay. Both off, 1, 2, and then we can go through and tidy it all up now. FZ engine mounts are all gone. It's looking beautiful along there, as if there was nothing even there. Here we go, our package has arrived, our engine mounts we need, cross member, few bits and pieces. So this has come from McKinnon's Cruisers. They do a 80 to Barra conversion kit with all this stuff that you need, which is perfect. That'll be a bolt-on cross member, which is to suit the 80 chassis and the ZF 6-speed Barra Auto. And then in this box,
they look like the chassis ones. They're the engine block ones, those two. And these two get welded onto the chassis.
Bolt those two to the Barra block.
Bolt our new engine mounts to them and bolt them to our engine mounts, so they're all ready to go in. And then it's only a matter of sliding the motor in, dunk, and sitting it down.
And then welding, weld the mounts onto the chassis.
Yeah. Bolt that to our cross member once it's in there, sit it up, and that way the position's going to be right, the height's going to be right.
I'll feel heaps better when I've got like something in the car, not just engine blocks, gearboxes, things everywhere, just chaos. Now we don't want to be banging that other block in and out of the engine bay while it's all uncovered, so I've just bolted this previous BA block onto the ZF Auto. It doesn't really matter if it gets stuffed around a bit, and we're going to use that to dummy fit into the car with the engine mounts. Todd's pulled the engine mounts, the factory ones off the Barra there, and then put the ones we got from McKinnon's Cruiser on. So it was time for the first test fit of the ZF Auto and 4-litre Barra into the 80. There are a few things that need to be considered and worked out when doing this though. The ZF Auto and cross member need to be lined up correctly underneath in their mounting spot, and then that allowed us to roughly work out where the engine would sit and could mark where the engine mounts would need to be welded to the chassis. There was some backwards and forwards room for movement with the engine, so we played around with this a bit. You don't want it sitting too far back that it's jammed up against the firewall, but you don't want it too far forward that you won't fit a radiator, fan, etc. in front of the motor. Given we didn't have our radiator, fan, rad sport, etc., we couldn't work that out exactly, but we spoke to Billy at McKinnon's Cruisers and he said there is commonly plenty of room in front of the Barra blocks, so give yourself good clearance at the firewall side of things and everything else should be sweet. Also, if you were wondering what happened to the sump, we had to pull it off halfway through getting this motor to fit because it's a front sump which doesn't work, and that's why we're using the other block over on the side of the shed. With the rear sump, we thought it may still sit there and would only become an issue when driving and flexing, etc., but doesn't fit at all. Cross member and gearbox are in the correct spot. Engine's been lowered. How's that, mate? What do you feel? Big Barra engine in the 80, just sitting there ready to go.
It's not in there yet, darling. Not in there yet.
There's heaps of little stuff that goes on with this engine conversions that obviously I'm not going to show when show everything when we're filming. It's all going to be sped up in editing, but we got this motor back in. We're working out a few more things here before we go welding these engine mounts in, because Todd was saying they'll have to work out drive shafts, like where they match up. So I've put it back in, but then the drive shafts don't match. So this was like our original where with Mark sitting it there, and I've pushed it back, but yeah, the drive shafts aren't going to match. And we were pretty sure that standard 80 drive shafts work. You don't need to get custom drive shafts made. So we've been trying to work out what's going on. It's Saturday morning. We've just managed to get a hold of McKinnon's Cruisers, and he said, what did he say, Todd, about the drive shafts, like the auto and the manual?
The auto tail shafts, shorter in the rear, longer in the front. Yeah, the manual ones are longer in the rear, shorter in the front. So hopefully you should be able to just swap those tail shafts over and all well and good.
Yeah, because this was an auto car, so auto tail shafts, drive shafts, and we're probably going to have to get manual drive shafts, and that should all line up. Because obviously you don't want to weld the engine into the wrong spot. That's going to cause a heap of problems later. So it's just very time consuming, fiddly stuff, getting it all correct and accurate to line up. Update, we got the measurements on the manual 80 drive shafts, and they're going to be the ones that we need. That'll solve our problems. We obviously won't have them here today. I'll have to figure out where to get some from, pick some up somewhere. But we can use those measurements, position this engine to line everything up, and we should be good now.
Everything's where it needs to be.
And you're gonna tack it on like that?
Yeah, I'll tack them where it is, and then pull the motor out.
That's the mounts tacked in. mounts tacked in and you'll fully weld them in now.
Yeah.
That's the engine mounts all fully welded in now. So with them done and the steering box brace, I think that's it for the chassis work in there.
So, what's next? We need to paint all this raw metal so it doesn't rust and so it looks nice. Tyler's just finished, you know, welding it all in. It's cooled off now, so I'm going to tape it up so I can get some paint down.
What's the painting plan?
This is like edge primer, so anything bare metal. This is the stuff you start with. You gotta shake this until the ball stops clicking. That's the secret.
Yeah.
See that? It's done. Paint everything that's bare metal until there's no more bare metal.
Oh, welcome back to Tyler Thompson's YouTube channel.
What are we doing today, mate?
What are we doing today? What are we doing?
I've already edge primed the chassis now, so
Have ya?
I've got some enamel gloss black chassis paint, mate.
Have you?
See, look on there, it's got heavy equipment, trucks.
Let's zoom in on that.
High coverage, quick drying, tough and durable. Look at
Tough
that,
and
mate.
durable.
Just
Probably
like
going to
me.
need it for this thing.
Just like me, mate.
Just like you. Well, it's looking pretty good, isn't it, Nick?
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's not my car, so if it doesn't, too bad.
You reckon he'll put this in the video?
Bits of it.
He'll cut out all the crap. Hey, Berto.
Yeah.
You missed a spot.
Where?
Just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's how you paint a chassis.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that, man.
There we go. We'll just sit you down. You guys can just sit back and enjoy.
That's the 80 back in the shed now. Chassis all painted up, brackets still outside drying. So it's looking very beautiful, nice and black. No suspension components were damaged and painted. And what else is going on in the shed here, mate? We've got a big cleanup going on today. We're making room again today, so we're gonna move the office over to the corner there.
Best offer gets it.
Best offer gets the auto there. She's ready for someone. We put the territory out in the car park, so it's out of the way.
How come when we chillin' everything will feel the same? Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up I'm like here we go again? Go again. That's why I just gotta know.
Now that we're all braced and painted, I'm gonna put the steering box back on. So we're gonna get to it.
Here we go again with another lie that's told in vain. Avoid the pain even though we need to say goodbye. Feel the same. So codependent, this hurting been open-ended. We just been hoping we ain't have to say it's over-ended. But the wound is open, let it be. You let it be, love it and set it free. But the
Steering box is on. Next job, finish swapping over all the sensors and brackets to this new FG motor.
So when you say swapping them all over, because we're using this FG block, you're just in the process of pulling everything off that BA block over there.
Yeah, because our loom and everything's to suit a BA. All the sensors from the BA are going in this FG block. So it's got an oil pressure switch, which was the same as the original. We know that one works, we didn't know this one works. I'm just going to change it. There's also a sensor here on that other motor I didn't know was missing. This one didn't have, but it's got a plug, I'll put it in there. It'll be sweet. And I've got to change a few of these water lines, that sort of stuff.
And then we got special guest appearance at the shed today.
She just couldn't resist working on her car. She wanted to come in.
Say hi.
Hello.
Now, do you want to show us what we've got this morning? Rocker cover. Let's go take a look at it. It's over on the bench over there. And then this is the main reason we've been waiting to assemble that top part of the FG block is because we had the rocker cover getting painted. What colour did you choose?
Is that Zeph's brown? Which one does it matter?
Berto installed the freshly painted engine mounts on the FG block, and then Demi and him got to work installing the freshly painted rocker cover.
Bippy bop, rock cover, right? So what you want to do, get this little peak, pull them out. Alright, that's one step. Next step. What's next?
This?
No.
This.
We'll go away from that little bag.
Oh, this.
No.
Are we going to put these around the edges?
Yes, correct. See, look, I only had to prompt a little bit for that. So how do you feel with that?
I feel like I did a good job.
You feel like
I
you
feel
did
like
a good job?
nothing's going to go wrong.
Okay. So now we'll go and put this on the motor. Don't scratch it.
Oh, I got rings on.
Don't scratch it. This is your painted thing, so don't scratch
Oh,
it.
I'm like, does it go on the other? Wait.
There's a joint here where it's not perfectly flat. Put a little bit of spudgy, and then on the corners I'll just put a little bit of spudgy just to make sure. Especially at the back. The back's like a hard to reach place in the car. We don't want it leaking. So now we need to come down, and then it slides forward, and it's down. So now we'll go around, we'll check, make sure it all looks right. So now
Look how cute it looks.
we get the bolts. That's a milestone moment in the build, mate. I can pack up going now.
Can you just watch what you're doing, mate?
You wanna go?
Yeah.
You tighten up 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you see it? Brother.
It doesn't count when it's me. How come you did it so much faster than me?
If you ain't first, you're last.
Look how pretty it is.
What, Zeph Poo colour? It is pretty nice. It's different, you know? It's very unique, mate.
Unique.
What turbo are you gonna put on it, Debbie?
A fast one.
Oh, you're gonna be faster than Tyler.
Yep. It's not hard.
Won't be long to the second crash then.
Are we going to get our brake upgrade?
Possibly. The main thing is you just have to use your brakes.
Oh, that's what it's for.
You gotta keep your eyes on the prize.
Yeah.
You try and put that in that hole.
That's what she said. Is it a pusher?
Sort of push and twist. Don't stuff it. Doesn't want it, does it? Ignition coils, BA Falcon ones. Suit the rocker cover.
What do they do?
This is the ignition coil. They give the spark plugs spark. I'm cleaning this up so it looks pretty for it. We don't have anything clean. We've got WD-40. It's going to bring some shine back to this thing.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. How did this just look so nice?
Wow.
I didn't know what WD was going to do that. I just knew it was slippery. It looks nice, I reckon. Not just fully brown with a bit of black on top.
Yeah,
It's very clean. Classy.
You know what we should have done?
Clean this.
Clean that.
Yeah, I could have. Could have sandblasted it.
Too late now.
I'm going to put this lifting bracket on, lift this motor off, and I'm going to change this flex plate. I'll tell you more about that when we get there. Here's one I prepared earlier. The same, but not like
Same
that.
but clean.
Yeah. You put him on there. It's very important to Loctite these, because they come loose. I've got my torque wrench set. We've got a pry bar and a bolt, so it'll hold it. We're going to do them all up to spec. They're tight, now we're going to get the welder on. Tack, 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 then they can't come undone. They're common to come loose, and when they come loose, they rattle around, you've got to pull the whole gearbox out. I'm going to put a tack weld on each, so that it physically can't come loose. Oh. They're all just tacked onto the flywheel so they can't twist, like they're liquid together. So when we need to undo these, if we ever do, you'll just cut them off and get new bolts. I'm about to slide into this box.
Can you get it in? Can you get it in?
It's going to be fun because it's on the ground.
What's that?
See that? This is a temperature sensor. It's hot. So I'm going to put this in. I left it out until I had the gearbox on because they break very easily. They hang right where the bell housing is, so if you like tilt the motor back while you're trying to line it up, snap the plug off. What we're doing now is bolting the torque converter to the flex plate. The torque converter is in your gearbox and it connects your gearbox to your flex plate, which is your motor. So the bolts go through here. To get them to line up, you can't see any bolt holes there. You need to get a 21mm on a ratchet, put it on the end of the crank here, and we spin it over.
Oh, yeah.
So now we can see the hole. You can get a close-up of the hole here. I'll put my finger in, I'll spin it until the torque converter threads line up. Grab Loctite, one of the bolts. Start that with my fingers, get it all the way in.
Yeah.
But I won't actually do this one up yet. I'm going to leave that one finger tight all the way in. And the reason I'm doing that is so that when I try and line the next ones up, if you do one up and then they're slightly off, they won't go in. But if you leave them all just loose, you can wiggle it so it'll be able to go in the hole. And then I'll go around and do them all up after. I'm going to get the torque wrench. I'm going to find out the spec for that. I'm going to torque with the spec. I'm going to go up, drain the oil out of the gearbox, pull the pan off, change the automatic filter, like pretty much do an auto service. That's my plan. So now what I'm doing, I'm going to undo this drain bolt on the bottom of this automatic transmission pan. So I drain all the fluid out and then I'm going to pull this pan off and we'll do a service on it. Oh. Smells not bad. It's how you tell if it's bad or not. It smells burnt, it's like not bad, but...
You say it's not bad though?
No, it smells good. Probably didn't have to do it, but we're doing it now. I'm undoing all these pan bolts. These little fellas. Yeah.
How many bolts are on there?
A lot. A very lot.
There's just so many.
Yeah.
I suction.
Oh, Daddy, chill. So now that we've got the old one out, I've got the new filter box. We'll open it up. It is the filter itself. It's identical to the other one. That's what we want. And then other than that, all we have is another cork gasket. To reuse the pan, I'll just have to clean up this old cork gasket. We'll get it done. Auto service is done. Just got to put oil back in it. There's no oil in it. Now I'm mounting up the transfer case shifter bracket. So on factory Toyota, the gearbox has a mount for this shifter to bolt onto, and we don't on a ZF. So they give you this one, which you have to drill some holes in these little wings on the gearbox, and then also mounts to the adapter, and then that gets your transfer case shifter working.
And then that'll come up through the floor into where we're going to do it.
Yeah, otherwise you'll be either just stuck in high or low, mate. You won't have it.
And then where's the auto shifter going to go?
The auto shifter, there is a arm over here.
Yeah.
And it runs a cable. And then the cable runs into the actual shifter, which we're using the Ford shifter in the cab.
Once this is on then, we'll be able to bring it over and properly mount this whole setup in the car.
Yeah, we'll be able to be bloody... just like that, mate. Yeah. Probably the same sounds too.
Fair bit more clearance with that rear sump. How do we feel? Any commentary?
Mate, look, it's in there. It's probably not the last time it's going in there. It's in there for now.
Hopefully, might be the last time. That's what we're praying for, but probably not.
So I've got the engine mounts both bolted in fully, they're done up. I've got the gearbox mount on, cross members just rested on it. Now I'm going to do up all the cross member bolts, we'll get all the cross member bolts in. And then it'll be fully mounted.
Well, that's it, mate. I reckon. We'll finish up that episode there. We got the Barra in, the gearbox in. Hopefully, it's staying in.
Bolted in. I've done them up top.
They're not coming out now.
If they need to come out, you get someone else to come do it.
Yeah.
It's in there. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, that's enough. We're pretty much waiting for parts to turn up now. We have had a few things start turning up. So over here from Raceworks. Oh yeah, box full of parts there. I'll go to our next episode. Turbo, exhaust manifold, intake manifold are all coming. We'll be here in the next few days and then we'll keep going. But that's it for now. Josh has got a big job ahead of him wiring stuff up.
I've just done the conversion. It's plug and play.
Mate, before you start, tell us what you're doing.
Sand up that so we can get all the corrosion off because that's rough. And then I'm going to use my California purple polish, which I use on all my chrome. We've got a wool pad, and then I've also got a yellow pad, which is a hard pad, and then a green pad, which is a soft pad.
And why are you doing this?
Well, I was having a soot because it wasn't polished, and so was everyone else because he's going to make it all look nice. And he said, oh, it doesn't matter, you're not going to see it, but you're gonna see it. So we got to do it.
Look, I think we discussed doing it, and then we just didn't do it, and then we got to this point, and then we thought we wish we did it, and then you came over and said, "I'm not having it, mate. I'm going home to get my tools."
So I got my tools.
So you're gonna get it sorted.
We'll get it sorted now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's
When Dad's on duty.
Dad's dumb decisions. Beep boop beep, boop boop, boopity boop. Beep bop chicken dinner.
Chickadee, chickadee, chick.
I've got like Tuesday afternoon sillies going on. I'm like a kid on a rainy day at school, you know. Wee, wee, woo, wee.
You know, like,
That thing's still on.
yep.
Do you want to off and then back on? Otherwise you'll get 27 minutes, he'll cry.
Oh my God, he will.
We don't want Tyler crying. You know, we used to have a back door over there. Tyler filled all the shit in front of it. No cross breeze now. But he said, no, I actually hate your guts, so...
So you must sweat to death.
Yeah. See the sweat going down my forehead? It's going down my back, my crack, and my sack. Gonna have to cut that out.
No, that's going in the bleachers.
Look at that. Does that look much better than it did?
Wow. She's smick. Here we go.
Here we go. I fucking hate when you have thoughts.
Oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started.